REM sleep, deep sleep, what does it all mean? All right, so some patients came into me and asked me, I've got this new watch, and this watch you wear during your sleep, or it has an app on it during sleep. It tracks your sleep. It kind of gives you a bunch of information the next day and says, hey, here's your REM sleep, here's your deep sleep, here's this and that. And they're like, what the heck does all this mean? And what kind of sleep do I need and not need? And what's important here? So let's dive into these stages of sleep and kind of explain a lot of this. So there's different types of sleep. One type of sleep is called REM sleep, and that's the one you hear all about, rapid eye movement sleep. And everybody's like, hey, I need my REM sleep. I got to get my REM sleep. Yeah, sure. Well, we're going to talk about that here more in a moment, but we're going to start with non-REM sleep, where the eyes aren't moving and jerking back and forth. So the non-REM sleep, very important. So stage 1 of non-REM sleep, this is that very first stage. This is when you're really just starting to fall asleep. This is when if somebody comes up and taps you or says your name, you're like, oh, hey, I'm not asleep. Everything's great. And this is when the brain starts to slow down. This is when your heartbeat, your eye movement, your breathing starts to slow down. Your muscles just are starting to relax. In fact, as your muscles relax, you may be like, whoa, my arm twitched or my leg twitched. I've got some disease. No, you don't. Actually, it's called myoclonus. It's normal. It happens. But this is also kind of this early time where the brain is producing more of what are called these theta waves. You don't need to know that. But again, we want to go through these stages of sleep. So let's go to stage 2. Now, stage 2 is a little further along. You've gone through that initial stage of just kind of falling asleep. Now you're becoming less aware of your surroundings. Your temperature is starting to drop. And this is when, hey, whoa, I might wake up a little because I needed more covers. Your eye movements stop. Your breathing, your heart rate becomes less. Now, this stage 2 is important, but some people really never make it past that. In fact, the American Sleep Foundation says about 50% of people, their total sleep time, or the 50% of their sleep time is in this non-REM stage 2, which is not where you want to be for 50% of your sleep time. So this is also, the brain is producing these rapid bursts of, they call it rhythmic activity. Actually, the word for it is called sleep spindles, which is kind of interesting. But these sleep spindles, this is actually when your brain is consolidating memories. It's actually gathering, processing, filtering new memories, things that have happened during the day, and saying, hey, we need to work through all this and figure it out and store certain things. And so this is the very beginning of that process. And this is also the beginning of the process where the body's like, hey, also, we need to start soon here repairing, restoring, kind of resetting the body for the next day. So there's all these things that go on during sleep that have to happen. So stage 3, I'm putting stage 3 and 4 together because they're really pretty similar, and they're really both deep sleep. And this is the sleep you want. You want this deep sleep. This is often called delta sleep, but this is when you get to the point where it's like, I'm out. I mean, the alarm could go off, the dog could bark, somebody could be talking to me, and I don't hear or feel a thing. I'm just in that total deep relaxation. And some people that never get there are like, gosh, I wish I could have that. But no, it's a wonderful, great thing. And this is true. This is the sleep that you wake up the next day and you're like, thank you. This is refreshing sleep. The muscles get relaxed, the blood pressure drops, the breathing slows down, you get that deep sleep, and this is when a lot of the physical repair of the body really starts to take place. And this is when your brain is actually taking all those memories through the day and really consolidating them. It's like I had maybe I learned something today, some facts or statistics, or had some personal experiences today, or, if you're a student or maybe you're learning something, or this is where your brain takes all that information and kind of puts it all together and stores it in certain areas of your brain. So very important that you get into this deep sleep, very important also for repair and healing. So then let's get into this REM sleep. What's that about? So REM sleep isn't like, hey, just a stage in itself. Again, this rapid eye movement sleep, that's when the eyes are moving all over the place. And it's like, what the heck? You're asleep and your eyes are moving all over the place. It looks kind of weird. Well, this type of sleep kind of injects itself into different areas of our sleep. So it's not like once you get into that deep sleep that you're just always in it through the whole night. No, this REM sleep starts to go in. So it's kind of a a little wave pattern there, a little roller coaster through the night, which actually is important, and we need that to occur. The brain actually starts to light up with activity. Now, what's interesting is the areas of the brain that light up the most are what are called the limbic areas. These are the emotional areas of the brain. So that's why it's thought that this time of sleep is when you actually process and store emotional memories. So it is very interesting. The body's more relaxed, totally immobilized. So what happens is the motor areas of the brain are supposed to stay shut off during this time. That way you don't act out your dreams, because this is when you're dreaming. So that's why too, sometimes you'll see people that it's like they're sound asleep, their eyes are moving, and they're moving with their arms or their legs, or maybe they're sleepwalking. That's when the motor area is not shut down properly. There's something wrong with that sleep-wake cycle, and their REM sleep is not stopping their motor activity. They are acting out their dreams. So also breathing starts to speed up a little. It actually becomes a more irregular. This is actually a good and normal thing. The eyes, of course, are moving fast, and then dreaming occurs. So, and who knows, we really don't understand dreaming completely. Why do you have this type of dream versus that type of dream, or this type of dream, and what's actually occurring there? That's still kind of an unknown. But we do think that this is when the body or the brain is really taking a lot of those memories, a lot of those things that we have had through the day, those things that have happened, and really cementing them into the memory or wherever they need to go, or however they need to be processed. And then this is really also, your body is still doing some healing, repair, reset during this period. Now, this REM sleep really seems to increase or be the most in those early morning hours. That's when it seems to be the biggest portion of that. And that's why sometimes you might have a dream, and some weird, crazy dream. You're like, hey, I remember this whole crazy dream. Whereas if it happened earlier in the night, it may be like, yeah, I know I had this crazy dream, but I can't remember it. So again, that's all can fit into it too. So as far as it comes to sleep, if you do have sleep disorders, if you have insomnia, things like that, that can be a problem. As you know, it is. And but it could cause other health issues, of course, and then we got to figure out why. But the thing is, though, is now you can kind of interpret your watch a little more, and hopefully you got some great information on sleep. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.